Hello students, in our last class we discussed about the types of economies and economies and in previous class we discussed about the problems of economy. In this class we discuss about the solution of or how the different types of economy deal with the problems of economy. So, there are three problems basically: how to produce, what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. So, we are just on discuss this topic. These are the types of economy and there are different way to deal of problems of economy. So, we are here. First one we discuss about how the capitalist economy solve the problem of what to produce, how to produce and for whom to produce. So, there are the three problems. So, we just here what to produce, how to produce, what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Hope you remember the concept of capitalist economy. So, the capitalist economy is the profit motive purpose, the private sector, consumer is the king, consumer is freedom to choice of the commodity, the business, etc. Everyone is free. That is why we also called capitalist economy as a laissez-faire economy. So, first one we discussed what to produce. So, the reason the answer of what to produce in capitalist economy is just a buying capacity, or we have if you remember we just discuss about what to produce. There may be a two section, consumer and capitalist good. So, here capitalist producer produce a capitalist economy produce for those who have a buying capacity. Like if he have luxurious good, if we want luxurious goods more, then he produce luxurious goods. If we want alcohol, tobacco or immoral goods which have large profit margin, then they produce those goods. So, capitalist economy in what to produce decide on the buying capacity. Who have the buying capacity, who have more buying capacity, then the person produce those goods. How to produce? It have two techniques: by capital intensive, that is with the help of machines, capital intensive technique, here labor intensive technique. So, again in this, which one is cheap one? That means who give more and pay less. Like if labor is available in cheap, like in India there is a lots of unemployment, so there is a easily available of labor, there is the on cheap cost on a comparison to machines installed. So, if the cost of production is less with this, then the capitalist economy use this, and if there is a less cost with installation of machines with the use of capital intensive technique, then this use capital intensive technique. For whom to produce? Buying capacity, same as it is. What to produce? Who have more profit margin, same as it is. For whom to produce? Who have a buying capacity. So, both are the interrelated. We just discuss it with our notes like here. Problem: how capitalist economy deal with the solve central problem by price mechanism. Say price mechanism, here the commodity who have more price, who is more demand, then the capitalist person produce those commodities. Price and output of a commodity is determined by the demand supply. We already we discuss it in our later chapters. Consumer is an uncrowded king in a capitalist economy. That means according to consumer, according to its demand, we produced either the goods is a good or bad. irrespective of the fact. It's called consumer sovereignty. The problem what to produce is alternatively decided by consumers. Next is how to produce. So there are two techniques, labor intensive and capital intensive. Decision of how to produce depends on price of factor. That means if capitalist person finds that labor is cheap comparative to capital intensive technique, then he use labor, or otherwise he use capital intensive technique. And the last one, for whom to produce, who have the buying capacity. Clear? So there are three questions, what to produce. So what to produce is by price mechanism. How to produce, so the price factor. If labor intensive is more useful, more cheap, then he use labor intensive, otherwise he use capital intensive. Same as it is in whom to produce, he produce for buying capacity person. Clear? So we are now on socialist economy. So socialist economy, again the economy which have no profit motive, which have more focus on welfare. The government decided more of the decision about the more decisions. So here socialist, what to produce, what to produce is decided by what to produce, like consumer. Here the socialist, here the government decide about those which are the basic needs, on the basic needs which are welfare, like house, shelter, etc. So what to produce are decided by this, like we already discussed this. That if government finds that some goods are very important for all, clear, like in today's concern, there is a corona problem. So we faces this huge problem. The government tries to available free medicine or free checkup, or those which are necessary for whole. So these are the commodities, these are the goods which the government tries to produce for the well-being of general public. So next one is for how to produce. So government is decide to produce again by the labor intensive technique. Why? Because labor intensive technique employment, generate employment, and India have huge population and government tries to minimize the problem of unemployment. And the next one is for whom to produce, same as it is, again on the basis of, without discriminate, on the basis of production, on the basis of buying capacity, it produce for those who have need that commodity. Okay? Like for example, if consumer goods produce more, because we have a public of consumer goods, then the government produce consumer goods, clear, for consumers. Next is mixed economy. Here all the decisions are taken by partly. Some like for how to produce, for what to produce, for some, for partially we produce for consumers, partly we produce for richer section, partly we produce for capital goods. So these are the basic here mixed economy. First decision what to produce, so we 50% partly, or maybe there is a different ratio. So maybe produce consumer goods and we produce capital goods also, so that consumers are available for normal goods and capital goods for the purpose of growth. For mixed economy, how to produce, same as it is, some goods we produce by capital intensive, that is why we achieve the cost effective production, and next some produce by labor intensive, that is why we also generate the employment. For whom to produce, again there is a 50-50-50 or maybe partially decision we produce for richer section also, for the luxurious goods etc., for the profit motive, and for general public, poor and middle class goods like general needs of goods. So that is why everyone is available for goods. So these are the three basic economies that is deal with the problem. They different way to deal the problem. First is capitalist economy, what to produce like price mechanism, how to produce like cheap one, and which is cost effective, and the third one for whom to produce, who have buying capacity. Same as it is socialist, what to produce like we produce for those who have need of that commodity, like if need of that commodity or which is welfare for all, clear, well-being for all. So same as it is how to produce, socialist economy consider labor intensive technique more for generation employment, and for whom to produce, same as it is for those sections who have the basic needs like basic education etc. So in mixed economy all the decisions are taken by on a partially basis. That means mixed economy have some features of private sector, some features of public government sector. So that is why some decisions are taken in the perspective of private sector as a profit motive, and some decisions are taken as a government perspective which are available to all customers, like on rationing, and in India you may see both the sectors as a partly. So we are on mixed economy, clear. This is the concept of the center problem and how the different economies solve the problem of economies, center problem of economies. So now we are on the next topic. The next topic is positive economy and normative economics. Clear? We are on first chapter of economics. So this is the basic concept, positive economic and normative economy. So we are considered as science and art, clear. So when we discuss about science, we discuss about the truth, facts, and the cause and effect relationship, like there is a two types of statement. First, which is based on cause and effect relationship. That means if I throw a glass, then it will break. Clear? This is cause and effect relationship. And the next one is ought to be. That means क्या होना चाहिए. Clear? If you work for 10 hours, then your salary will be per day. Then your salary will be 700. Clear? Then what ought to be? If you work for 10 hours, then your salary will be 900. What ought to be? क्या होना चाहिए? What should be? That means positive economics tells about the cause and effect relationship. That means अगर कोई गिरा है तो उसको चोट लगेगी ही. Clear? But normative economics tells about that चोट नहीं लगनी चाहिए. It not to be hurt. Clear? So that means positive economics based on cause and effect relationship. That means ऐसा करोगे तो ऐसा ही होगा. Clear? This is your reason and this is your result. This is positive economics. But normative economics is about like what ought to be. Like a consumer should receive at least salary that he earns his livelihood, he run his normal day-to-day life. Clear? So what ought to be? There is a positive economics and normative economics, and what is positive economics, which is this is related to good or bad. This is not related to good or bad. This is your cause and effect relationship. अगर आप ग्लास फेंकोगे तो वो टूटेगा ऐसे ही, लेकिन ये बोलते हैं नहीं टूटना चाहिए. In positive economy, we relate economics as a science which have some rules, some laws, etc., which based on a cause and effect relationship. While in normative economy, we deals with what ought to be, क्या होना चाहिए, what should be. In positive economics analysis, we study how the different mechanism function. In normative economy, we try to understand whether mechanism are desirable or not. Clear? Particular method, particular, it tells about that particular method is this. And normative economy, particular method is good or not, is adopted or not, desirable or not. This is positive economics. Clear? Now we just on our next, that is micro and macro differences. What are the micro and macroeconomics? So microeconomics, we are on study on individual. Microeconomics, there is a two branches of economic. First deals with the individuals. Economics is divided into two parts. First one is microeconomics and next one is macroeconomics. This is related with individuals, study of individual. This is relates with study of aggregates. Or group. Clear? What is microeconomics? It study about me. It is study about you. That means when we discuss about a single individual, like individual person, individual company, individual firm, individual market, individual, that means we are on microeconomics. Clear? We are on individual behavior like demand of individual, demand of market. We are considered on a small basis, then we are on microeconomics. If we are on large basis, we are study of nation, like if I discuss, I'll just give an example and you clear both of the concept. If I am discuss about my income, then I am on microeconomics, and if I am discuss about the national income, then I am in macroeconomics. If I am discuss about my house budget, my home budget, that means like this amount is paid for the education of our children, and this amount for the groceries, electricity bill, phone bill, etc. So this is the budget of mine, that means I am in microeconomics. If I am discuss about the government budget of India, that is I am in macroeconomics. Clear? If I am discuss about my salary, my job, my unemployment, that means I am in microeconomics. And if I am discuss about the unemployment of India, that I am in macroeconomics. If I am discuss about the my money, then I am in microeconomics. And if I am discuss about the money and banking system in India, that means I am in macroeconomics. So these are the subject matter. That means if we are consider a individual, that we are consider a particular unit, we are consider a particular person, its budget, its choices, human behavior, that these are the concept of a particular belongs to a person. That means we are in microeconomics. And if we are consider about the whole nation, that is unemployment, national income, government budget, etc. So we are in macroeconomics. Clear? So we just quick read out it with our notes. The term microeconomics is derived from the Greek word micros. The word is derived from the Greek word, that is micros. Clear? Which meaning small. That means we study in a small. The term macroeconomics is derived from the Greek word macros. That means large. It is study of a particular unit rather than all units combined. We don't discuss as combined, we discuss a particular unit. Macroeconomics, on the other hand, we try to get an understanding of the economy as a whole by focusing our attention on aggregates measures. It is basically concerned with the mechanism of allocation of given resources. ये याद रखिएगा. Try to remember this line, because when I want to spend, when I am purchasing, when I am earning, so when I discuss about the allocation of resources of a particular person, that this is the problem of, this is the subject matter of microeconomics. And such as total output, employment, aggregate price level, this is the macroeconomics. We study product pricing, consumer behavior, that means particular product, particular consumer, study of firms, particular firms, location of industry, etc. Here the subject matter of this is national income, nation wise group study, and output, balance of trade, India trade between other countries, end of payment, and saving and investment of employment and economic growth. When we consider the whole unit, when we consider the large economic nations, then we are on macroeconomics, and if we are discuss for a particular unit, then we are on micro. Clear? Hope you understand the first chapter. This is your first chapter, which is a theory. Clear? In the next classes like demand, etc., all the conceptual class. Don't miss the class, and even try to get the class on a continuous basis. That means when you consider this, then you are further step to next chapter. After understanding the first second chapter clearly, then you move to third chapter, because in economics there is a series of transaction. Clear? In your class there is a syllabus of economics, is basically demand, introduction, then demand, elasticity, supply, consumer behavior, production. So these are the basic concepts. When you understand first concept clearly, then after you have to move on the next. Clear? So we will meet in our next class. Thank you.